So, in today's sum, we've got some fascinating detail about quite how close Vladimir Putin came to launching a nuclear weapon in the autumn of 2022. Now, back then, the Sun revealed that the West was on high alert for a nuclear strike, possibly a tactical battlefield nuclear weapon deployed in Ukraine, as the Kremlin tyrant became more and more desperate about his doomed invasion of his neighbor. Now, Joe Biden at the time warned that the world had never been closer to nuclear destruction since the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. The then Defense Secretary Ben Wallace dashed to Washington in October 2022 for crisis talks with the White House. Now, since then, sort of more and more information has seeped out about what was going on behind the scenes. And it turns out that US intelligence believed there was a 50% chance of a nuclear weapon being used. Now, in the Sun today, we've got some brand new information. It comes from a new book about Liz Truss, the then Prime Minister, which is actually written by me. We're revealing it in the Sun, the details of it, which is actually that in number 10, in the dying days of Liz Truss's doomed administration, after she'd already resigned as Prime Minister and before she left office, she was called into panicked meetings, crisis meetings, you described them as, where she was studying the weather maps of Europe to look at the weather patterns, what would happen if a bomb was let off in the Black Sea or on the battlefield in Ukraine, and they determined that there was a high chance the fallout with the wrong wind patterns could have directly hit Britain. Now, it's horrifying to think what the implications of that would have been in terms of our relationships with Russia, the conflict in Ukraine, the massive escalation that would have caused. And it's a pretty chilling read, but the details are all there. It seems that Britain came pretty close to being dragged into a doomsday scenario.